2007. The number of commissioners that wanted to succeed him.
Yes.
Everybody.
And a lot of them very experienced politicians.
Yes.
Experienced. Career politicians.
You're looking, and the man
came from nowhere, he picked somebody who is not a politician.
From the back of the...
And there was resistance. People hated
everyone.
They didn't like the idea. They said, look, he cannot fly. They said this. They made a lot of mountain out of a molehill. They said, the same Fashola that used to block us from having access to the governor, that's the person. How do we work for this kind of
popular choice at all?
With the politicians, it wasn't popular. It wasn't popular. And at the end of the day, the Fashola ship sailed. And he became governor, and he made his mark. He made his mark. You know, the actualizer. Yes,
actualizer.
He made his mark. So, telling people, letting people know so early in the day that it's a thoroughly tactless this thing. At the end, see what now? They don't want him to succeed the governor. They said if he became the if he got the full powers of a governor, for example, he will be able to use that to help himself and gain advantage over others.
Other candidates.
Yes. No doubt about it, that's what will happen. You know, we saw what happened now to Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes.
When he completed his August term.
And the advantage for this one is that it's from the southern part of the states, where the thing might have been
even if it wasn't from majority,
they will do it.
Even if it's a minority, as governor with all the powers, there is no limit to what he can do. So this is why, in my view, I think that that mistake was made. But well, we can't keep talking about it now. The governor has been made to believe that this man is wishing him dead. This and that. I've seen some of the allegations when they said, "Oh, he bought that he wanted to buy bulletproof vehicle for himself." I then asked that, "Okay, was that money approved? Did he eventually buy it?" They said, "No, the money was not approved because he went through the wrong quarters."
To do everything.
How can
give a dog the bad name?
An intention. You've got to actually actualize it for you to say it's an offense.
Some allegation.
You can think out something.
Yes.
And in the end, not even bother yourself to see it.
Anything can be categorized as gross misconduct for the assembly members.
All of those things.
180.
A man who has very limited power, and you are coming up with so many. It's not by how many the allegations are, it's how concrete. But you know, so that it doesn't look like, okay, they are trying to solve a problem, and Jide and co are trying to worsen things. I believe that there's no need to do this. It is the people of Ondo who are suffering.
Yes,
he's not doing the
PDP,
work
they're asking
of the
for
governor.
Who is.
He's not doing the work of the deputy governor. He's not been seen in public in a very long time. And the governor is indisposed. So who gains from this kind of vacuum that has been created? Nobody. Somebody should have been allowed to exercise that function. And I'm happy that APC, I always criticize them that they don't have good structures to resolve conflicts, but they've started well on this note. And the situation has also been helped by the court order stopping proceedings. So they could not proceed.
Yes.
Because the order stopped proceedings. And as long as you've not vacated that order, you don't expect the CJ to set up a panel. The framers of the Constitution have done well to not give all the powers to impeach to the House of Assembly. The Chief Judge is the one to set up a panel. And if the panel set up by the Chief Judge returns a verdict that suggests that the man has done no wrong.
No wrong.
Impeachment has ended.
Yes, it was done against Amakura.
Impeachment has ended. That's what will have happened to Fayose in 2006. Because they knew that they would not succeed. They then proceeded to suspend the CJ. Ridiculous people. Where have you got the power?
They don't have the power
to suspend
to solve the power of
CJ.
Another
arm of government. So when they did that,
NGC.
they brought in their own Dankara CJ. That one was eventually suspended for years
by NGC.
By NGC. He was made to suffer for his indiscretion to go and work with people who did not have the power to remove his boss. So if you are ambitious sometimes, you must use your head because that over-ambition can lead you to serious agony. And at the end of the day, when Fayose won the election and he was taken to court, Supreme Court ruled that he was never impeached, that his impeachment was not known to law.
Yep.
Because you can't build something on nothing. So at the end of the day, it is not on record that Fayose was impeached. That is what the law says. Just as it is not on record that Ngige was at any time governor of Anambra State.
You see, I'm not aspiring to be a deputy governor. That position is not so attractive right now. We just finished from the deputy governor of Edo State, now the deputy governor of Ondo State. And we now discover that it's the same scenario. Fifth columnists will come in between the governor and the deputy governor, destroy their relationship. If you ask Ekiti now, some people will say, maybe people behind his present predicament, these people, ridiculous things to say, all in the name to grab power.
Well, it depends on who your principal is. We've seen, I once asked a question about the governor of Lagos State and the deputy governor of Lagos State, how they work seamlessly. At many events, you will find both the governor and deputy governor there. I asked someone very close to them, and he said, they are friends.
The personal friends.
And they are personal friends, and they talk to you, they sat down, like, oh boy, let's work together, let's do this. So they are not working at cross purposes. You understand? And remember also that the deputy governor, Obafemi Hamzat, also was an aspirant. You understand what I'm saying?
Against somebody.
Yeah, it was an aspirant, but then he calmed down, and then is working together. So it depends on who the governor is. However, I think that we should review our laws to protect the deputy governor, so that the deputy governor will not be at the mercy of the whims and caprices of larger than life, overbearing principals, governors. Now, in this saga, there are heroes and there are villains. For me, the heroes are, one, the APC leadership, waded in. Like BKO said earlier, that APC has not been very big on conflict resolution. So this is a step, a positive departure from what has been believed to be the norm with APC when it comes to conflict resolution. The other hero for me is the chief judge. The chief judge is the head of the bench, in that state. An organ that interprets the law. It's the third arm of government. The chief judge, of course, is supposed to be apolitical. It's not supposed to be interested in whatever intrigues and shenanigans that are playing out. His hands were tied because there were court orders. Remember also that even when there was a court order that the impeachment proceedings should stop, the House of Assembly members were still grandstanding that they will go ahead. But the chief judge can't afford to do that. So he's a hero. The villains are the House of Assembly members. You know what struck me when I saw this their request to the deputy governor to suspend they said we're not looking for political solution. They said that, which means the purpose of even going initiating the impeachment process was political. It is not like they were ad initio concerned about what corruption or abuse or mismanagement of office. It was all political. So if we are looking, because if it is actually the issue of abuse of office, gross abuse of office, usually they should see the court case through. You understand? But because it's all political, and I think people who occupy that position should take themselves seriously. Everything cannot be politics. It's the first arm of government. So you can't be seen to be witch-hunting or persecuting someone because of your own political interest or because you are trying to protect the political interest of someone or trying to defeat the political interest of someone. It's not necessary.
Jide, a lot of people will say that, look, we must protect this House of Assemblies, as in across the country. It's like looking like an extension of the executive across the states. But I know of Lagos states, in terms of financing and everything, It's still, they're on the first light charge. So it's level of independence is what we saw earlier before the screening and everything. But it's not so in other states. The state houses of assembly around the country is just like an extension of the executive.
Yes, because the governors like to choose speakers. They want speakers who will do their bidding. You saw a governor who had just 10 members of House of Assembly for a whole term. He deliberately created a situation with just 10 members, all because of the control that he wanted. They want every bill that they present to be passed. They want to have their way all the time. So they don't want an adversarial House of Assembly, even if the House, in doing that, is doing it in the interest of the people. They don't want that. So governors go out of their way to pick their own people as speaker. There was even a governor of one of the North Central states that after inaugurating the House, he remained until they chose their speaker, which is wrong. He sat with them in chambers. So many ridiculous things are happening in today's Nigeria. He sat there to be sure that his own person emerged, because he is already in conflict with another person at the national level. He didn't want that person to prevail. Similar to what we had in those states where Ojomu had his own person, Obaseki had his own person. And Obaseki didn't want Ojomu's person to become speaker.
Yes,
so the houses of assembly will never be able to exercise independence when we have a situation like this, when governors are desperate to pick speakers. And it shouldn't be the case. This is a different arm of government. What is your business choosing their leaders? As long as governors will have their way in choosing these speakers, there can never be independence. Even if you give them financial autonomy, you cannot give them political autonomy. They have to exercise that political autonomy on their own. But if they fail, if they refuse to exercise it, what can anyone do? So this is the situation.
All right, moving on now. Another police officer has been caught napping and is facing the music. The Lagos State Police Command says it has identified the person in a viral video shooting from an AK-47 rifle at the reopening of Ladipo Market as Inspector Stephanus Kwachi. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, Benjamin Ndeng, confirmed the inspector's arrest in the post on X. He said the State Commissioner of Police, Idowu, has ordered the commencement of disciplinary proceedings against the officer who is serving in a Lagos squadron of the mobile police for his unprofessional, unethical, and dangerous behavior. I saw this picture earlier today, and I don't know the kind of solidarity that will make.
The people give me money now. Maybe one of these policemen who escort them up and down, and he gets paid for doing that. See him wasting bullets.
See the way he's dressed.
Celebration. He's wasting bullets in celebration, as if those bullets don't cost a dime. Policemen are continually showing undisciplined behavior. And despite the fact that that is one agency of government that continually purges its ranks of black legs, of bad eggs, you will continue to see policemen who are thoroughly undisciplined. The other day, the DPO of Mena was accused of extortion and removed. How do you extort? Somebody is taking a phone, taking some phones to somewhere. You block them, you started asking for 200,000. The person was forced to go to the POS, withdrew money, and then gave them the balance of 20,000 I had on him. They should know that the times have changed. if you do this sort of thing, social media will have you recorded.
Yeah, that's just it.
This is what has
He
happened.
was
Look at
identified.
it. How is he has turned himself to a trader among these people.
I don't understand.
He even jubilated more than the traders.
I don't understand.
He jubilated more than the
If
traders.
anything had happened,
Huh? And we've seen people die from accidental discharge and all that. It can easily happen, especially in a crowded setting like this. This is a thoroughly undisciplined and irresponsible police officer. And when an example is made of him, I'm confident that others will know that, look, you can't get away with aberrant behavior in the police.
he's looking like one of those guys, the section that SAS, that was bad, the way they used to dress. The prescribed social anti-robbery scrub.
Just we are some we even wear flip-flops.
Yes.
Or what in Nigeria
Where
we
they
call
look,
them
yes.
petrol slippers.
Bad memories
That's
of the
what they
special
wear.
anti-robbery squad.
You know, we finally got those ones out of the way.
Yes, sir.
A
Yes.
good number of them Indian hemp smokers, calling themselves policemen.
Yeah, they go,
the
go
ones-
to uncompleted buildings.
And be smoking.
Yes, and
With
they
the
will
same
taking
boys
stuff
that they are
with
supposed
the
to
boys.
arrest.
Yes, the same boys. They know them. They will sit down with them. They will
same
Indo
boys.
together. They will loud together.
So it's a good thing. You know, a man, maybe I told the story before, somewhere in the southeast, he got married. And on his wedding day, he invited the police to give him 21 gun salute. Say, what happened? Now you go first marry. Because you got married, 21 gun salute. In the process, he was shot and he died.
Oh,
Yes, but this wedding we did from
the groom.
accidental discharge. Yes, the groom. We lost the groom.
What is your own with gun? Are you a general?
He said they should give
Are
him
you-
21. People believe that once they have money, they can just do what they like. You are not. It's not a soldier getting married. It's not a soldier being pulled out. It's not a general being pulled out. What do you need 21 gun salute for? Just to rattle the community, make everybody realize that somebody got wedded. You know, even if you got married at the very ripe age of 70, it still does not merit a 21 gun salute.
To what?
Because you probably won't be the oldest bachelor.
The conduct of our police guys. I wonder if this, well, the way the management, the police management, the way they are handling it, I like it, because this one now, in the next 2 weeks, we just hear that he's out of the force.
Well, this has been happening, you know. Police have been trying to weed itself
Or they
apart.
will just reduce it.
Or they'll
Yeah.
demote him. They'll just do something that they will come and tell us. I trust the first PRO. They will parade him. The next thing, they will serve him his
Police has
breakfast.
been weeding his bad eggs. Well, I think I don't know what they even need to do more, because we keep having cases like this. Policemen who don't respect their uniform, who don't respect their calling. You know, sometimes I ask myself whether there's a spirit that seizes people when they have that uniform. You understand? I know that everybody is bad, but we have too many cases of police officers, policemen misbehaving. I don't know why they keep doing this. From you go to, I don't know whether you've had to go, and I went to report a case of a missing person once in a police station. I don't want to mention the police station. We're not, my brother and I went there, and of course we're not allowed to enter with our phones. I was just wondering, is this the office of a governor or what? So maybe they knew that we could record. Then we're just asking for this, asking for from the counter. Ask for this, ask for that. Then the next thing, I need money for transportation. I need money for fine. I need money for signal. I need money for, you know, all of that. It seems to me that anybody that goes into that place, they see the person as a cash cow. You know, in the end, I did not even get joy from them. We found the person. You understand? And when I talk to the, what they call them, the IPO, they come back and report, come back and say, what am I coming to do? What did you do in the first place? So we need people that take this profession seriously. Maybe at the point of recruitment, they need to examine the mind of people who are coming to the police. I hope people who are coming, a lot of them, maybe because some of them cannot get admission to university. You understand? They've tried, or maybe they are not, they can't pass WAEC, or they can't pass UTME, or then the next thing they go into the police, and then go for this very short this thing, and then they become. So there must be training and retraining. There must be a reorientation of their mind. So there are people that need to also get probably their minds checked by psychiatrists or by psychologists. They need to know, because what this character did, is it normal? How do you define it? A normal person doesn't have to behave like that. And this kind of person, if there's a distress call nearby that there's an armed robbery, you will not find him there.
Will not be there.
You'll find him there. They'll start giving excuses. It's after the havoc has been done that you see police, swinging into action. All right. This is a show of shame.
We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this Hangout.
Unwrap joy, unleash taste.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go. Dream on. Change your world. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout, and we're reaching you here from TVC News in Lagos, Nigeria, and I say Babajide Kolade Otitoju in the studio and Paul Dada. BKO, looking at it, the deployment of armed police officers, because number one, we are under police as a country, but you continue to see armed police officers with private individuals, people, citizens, places you are not meant to see them. And I don't know, maybe this one is posted to an individual in the market or the entire market, but you just know that this has been abused over time.
Yes, policemen have been routinely abused. We even see wives of VIPs using police to carry their handbags, using police to go and collect food for them at parties. You know, things that we
collect food for them.
Yes, he will sit and the policeman will be the one to go and collect food and bring to madam. That's not his work. Are the ones who open doors for them, hang umbrella, you know. This sort of thing. And people have complained that, look, the policemen guiding VIPs in our country, there are too many. Every IG, when he comes in, we're going to say he's going to work for them. Because we really don't have enough policemen. But the policemen guiding individuals who are not people in government, there are just too many. Look at National Assembly, for example. Each of those guys will have his own policeman.
So 109 senators, 360.
Entitled to be protected. They can request for protection Because if they lodge a complaint, for example, that they are being harassed, that they need protection, they will give them. That's how oil workers, they give them a battery of policemen to protect them. You see, wherever they are going, you see those. So the policemen left to protect the populace, they are just not enough. They are just not enough. Our communities, local governments, we don't have enough policemen to protect our people. You look at a sprawling community like, let me say my area, Ekiti, for example. That's just one police station.
The police.
That whole area, going all the way to Lambert, to Matogun, one police station. So how can they be enough?
The number of hoodlums in that area.
No.
We overwhelmed them.
Capital of bad boys, Yahoo boys, undesirable elements, there are very many in that area. There's not enough police. Because the police posts that are even in the area, they are not well equipped, and they don't have enough personnel. So it's like, there's a lot that we need to do. We need to recruit a lot more policemen. If we do it on a consistent basis,
we can bridge the deficit.
Good for us as a nation. We will still not be able to arrive at that global ratio of population to the police, but because that would take decades, But at least we need to start somewhere.
All right. Now, land grabbing and the disputes arising from it have dogged Lagos and most Nigerian cities for some years. Another of such disputes is raging in Ajiran land, Ojomu community in Itiosa local government area of Lagos State. To stem the precarious security situation in the area, a non-governmental organization, Center for Human and Socio-Economic Rights, has petitioned the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, to intervene in the unlawful activities of land grabbers who constitute threats to public peace in the community. The group asked the House and the police to put an end to intimidation of community leaders and demanded justice for the mother of the youth leader in the area. We are aware in some areas we see these people, they are semi-lords. If you report them in the nearest police station, you can't get justice. They understand the way that place operates and they're like owners of that particular area. So, and this is happening in Lagos State, and this is so rampant in Lagos Island. So just shed more light on this particular case we are talking about now.
No, it is in Etiosa local government, and the community is Ojomu, and it's part of Ajiran. Ajiran is a larger community. Yeah. Ajiran, okay. Ajiran
land in Ojomu community.
Ojomu community. These are not areas that we are familiar with. But it is some places like Oshakwa, London, for example.
Okay.
Part of
Oshakwa, London is very popular.
Yes, and their traditional ruler is Oba Tijani Shateru II, of Ajiran land. He's a graduate of economics from the University of Ife. Back then, he graduated 49 years ago. He's one of the respected traditional rulers in Lagos. Unfortunately, his area, his kingdom has literally been taken over by thugs who are into serious land grabbing. And one of those thugs, notorious thugs, is said that his name is Ahmed. He goes around. Sometimes he will even say, I don't want to see you in this community for the next 2 years. For fear of being killed, people will take off. What they do is a plot of land validly bought and belonging to an individual, they will take it over. They will put their thugs on ground. That person cannot access his piece of land anymore. They will now bring the people that they sold it to. They will bring them. Those ones will begin to build in their presence, in the presence of their thugs. Once they finish building, that person will now sell to a third party. So you now see a plot of land already being disputed by three persons.
The litigation you are
being
in courts.
competed for, yes.
And somebody will just start building.
I was told that they have more than 150 court cases against these individuals because of the rampant acquisition, illegal acquisition of people's plots of land. Even
And the third party will just start building. You can finish it in 6
so
months.
it's like the second party now. Literally,
Okay,
the
okay.
second party is the one who has built.
On another person's land.
You now said the problem.
Where I explained it, you own the land.
Yes.
They sold your land to me.
Yes.
You have the title deeds. You have all
Everything.
the papers.
While we are in court.
They acquired it. They took it over from you, chased you away. You can't access the place again because you know they are boys. They have guns and everything. They now sold it to me. After they sold it to me, they stood by me. I began to build rapidly. Within a short time, I finished building. I then sold to him, and I walked away. So you will find now that a plot of land, 3 persons are in dispute over a plot of land. This is what these boys are doing. Meanwhile, Lagos State came up with a law,
Yes.
anti-grabbing law.
passed.
Let me read some of the portions. It said, specifically section 2, subsection 1 of the law prohibits the use of force or self-help to take over any landed property or to engage in any act inconsistent with the proprietary right of the owner. The law criminalizes the use of threat or violence for the purpose of securing entry into any landed property, either for oneself or for another without lawful authority. The provisions of the law in section 4 criminalizes any encroachment on people's properties and provide for fine not exceeding 5 million or 5-year imprisonment or both against any such behavior. There is something that I saw when I was reading it that, now let me just read down briefly. The law seeks to eliminate land grabbing in its various forms that include forceful possession of landed properties, encroachment, illegal sale and resale of land, illegal use of law enforcement agents. Did you hear that? Illegal use of law enforcement agents and vigilante groups to enforce judgments. Misconduct by professionals in the land transaction. Writing of frivolous and false petitions and all that. There are people in the Ministry of Land. I mean, in the, yes.
Yes. Lagos State.
Who connive with these bad
Characters.
boys, these roughnecks, to give them title deeds on plots of land that originally did not belong to them. So it means as they are using the police, they are also using people in the Ministry of Land. But what is particularly worrisome is the resort to violence in that
Yes.
Ojomu land. They are now, they beat up, there is a particular Balogun of Ojomu land.
Community.
Yes. They beat him up inside the palace. This was just some days back, you know, because they are celebrating. People can't move freely now unless they have soldiers, because it appears it's only soldiers that they fear. They do not fear the police. The police have had their hands soiled by criminal collusion with some of these boys. You will always find yourself in a situation where people will say, okay, let's take the matter to Abuja, because they will think that within the Lagos jurisdiction,
You can't get justice.
you cannot get justice. That is the point. The boy who was killed, what's his name again? Sheriff
leader.
Ishola Salami, who was killed. They are accusing the police of not investigating the petition regarding his murder. And they are saying, look, there has to be a thorough and impartial investigation so that the people behind this killing can be unmasked. And that is what their lawyer, Aribisala, is asking for.
In April. That murder took place in April.
Yes.
April.
Up till now, no
not
headway. These boys, that is why these boys can stand in the middle of the town and say, you, I don't want to see you again. Because they are already seeing themselves as little gods. Because at the end of the day, you think, okay, police will not do anything. This is what they get away with.
We are the landlords.
So what is the point? And you know, in those areas, up to Eleganza, that Eleganza estate is part of that
Ojomu community.
Ojomu, I think. Ojomu, I think that's the correct spelling. Yes, Osakpa, London, you know, that beautiful place near Lekki is also part of their...
Very expensive.
But the thing is, yes, that area, there is no, it's not as if there are still plenty of plots of land. So they are forcefully taking over people and they are beating up people. If you try to get in their way, they will use force against whether you are a traditional ruler or not. And that is what, in a country governed by laws, a state governed by law, these boys, and they know them. We don't have to show their videos before you know them. They have to rein in these boys.
They've taken over police in the area.
Has a responsibility to ensure that a breakdown of law or order does not happen. Look at a situation in which they are petitioning the Speaker of the House of Reps. That's an indictment. That's like saying, no, we have lost faith in the people in Lagos.
Exactly.
They have to go to the House of Reps. Because on Monday now, they are going to have their anniversary for the traditional ruler.
The climax of the
30th anniversary. They are afraid that these people
will come and
disrupt it.
Because they've been beating up people.
Lagos.
You know, the problem with our state, or our society, is not the absence of laws. You know, there are laws prohibiting land grabbing. But those laws are there, but nobody is executing them. And that's the problem. Land grabbers have for long in this state reigned with nobody, have reigned, you know, with nobody checking them.
All them says Ajagunbale.
Ajagunbale is Sheurukoni here. You know?
Very good title. Very good
title. Jagun, go to northwest and north.
No, it's very
fight bandits.
These people are no stranger to police arrest. They are no stranger to court cases. And yet they continue in their reign of infamy, and nobody does anything about it. You know, the most upsetting thing is that you now petition a law enforcement agency, you don't get joy. Police have many times been accused of this. The case of Mohbad is still fresh in the mind. You understand? Petition the police, and the police did nothing because policemen themselves are in cahoots with these criminal elements. But beyond even petitioning the House of Reps, you know, of course, petition the House of Reps will invite the police, they will talk and talk and talk. I think they should go to the court to make an order to compel the police to do the proper thing. You know, it's also possible they can go to the court and say, this. Somebody was murdered, nothing has been done about it. So court, help us, compel the police to make the investigation. Whether they call the land, money, whatever they call themselves, these people are terrible. There are even other people that, among these unscrupulous elements, even your own house, if you want to do a restructuring in your house, they will come. I used to belong to a church that the building collapsed. I mean, it was a very bad, and I think I was even there that the section collapsed. I escaped. And then we were trying to rebuild. You know, that was a tragedy. And some people came. And I saw 2 million, Abikini for 5, just to rebuild your own structure.
That's what you can't build a wall around.
And then you don't know who to report to. You don't know who to talk to. You talk to police. Police can't help you. You have to start negotiating with these beasts. You understand? It's so terrible.
There is a place where around Yakoyo, soldiers who are brought in to help with decking the building. So these guys did not know that it was soldiers at work. So they came and were beating them because they were in mufti. They were beating them. So those soldiers pleaded with them, they begged them. Later the soldiers, they radioed their colleagues. Those guys came, and they too came down, wore their uniform. They had all those on Monile arrested. They were the ones who completed the decking that day. And you know they are not used to doing that hard back pain.
Yes.
People who are always a laborer,
always on
those who are laborers, they are used to it. They know the aboniki that they are going to use. You are not used to it. You are just used to collecting money up.
All right.
They are the ones who finish the decking.
Joining us for more insights on this dispute is one of the victims. That's Dayo Joshua. Thank you for joining us, Dayo Joshua.
Yes, good evening.
Can you please tell us about your experience here in this area in Lagos State? That's Ajiro land, Ojomu. Please call the place again.
Ojomu. There is Ojomu Ajiro land. Ajiro land. My plot is specifically in Chevy View Estate. Chevy View Estate.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So
tell us about your experience.
What happened?
Okay, so I had bought my plot since 2012. Okay, it was fenced. I had some containers in it, gated, and I had security men at various times manning the place. So sometime in 2021, my security man calls me and says, somebody is at my plot with a bulldozer, trying to break down my fence and my gate and scatter everything. You know, so I was at work, so I ran to the place, you know, and I addressed the gentleman that was trying to do that. And he said he had orders from his own boss, you know. So I quickly went to zone 2. Okay, so policemen came, and then we all went back to the police station, you know. These guys brought a document and said it was their land. So the police in Zone 2 started an investigation and then told everybody to keep off until they conclude their investigation. We were on it for about a year, that till August 2022. The day the police called us to say, okay, we have finished our investigation, all the parties come and let us, you know, present the thing. These guys brought another set of policemen from Alagbon in Ikoyi. Another set of policemen. On the day we were supposed to be in Zone 2, where all the parties, this guy, because the other party, his name is Frank Enendu. He's also called Fragen. Okay? Throughout the investigation, I understand they called and invited him, but he never showed up. Because, you know, he runs around like you have been discussing. He goes around with retinue of policemen. So even the Nigerian police could not arrest him because he had policemen guarding him. You know? So we got there, and then before I knew it, the guys, my security guy, who had instructed that, look, anybody that comes to the site, just take a video of the person. Do you know this policeman from Alagbon? They did not only beat my boy, they beat him, collected his phone that he was using to record, and went and locked him up for days. You know? Of course, at this point, I was in Zone 2, waiting for result of the investigation. Okay? So immediately I ran from Zone 2 to Alagbon to say, look, why are you people doing this? This is a case that has been under investigation for a year at your sister station. They didn't even answer me. They took the boy, locked him up, my security man, and guess what his offense was? Because they actually charged him to court after we went to Federal High Court to enforce a fundamental human right. Okay? They now quickly charged him to magistrate court. And guess what his offense was? Videoing a policeman on duty. videoing a policeman on duty. That was his offense. You will not believe it. You know, and as I speak to you, we are still on that magistrate court case till now. Okay, we are also, of course, we have gone and we went to court because at that point the police could not help us anymore, so we had to go to court, and we are in court. Of course, they know that the court processes take a long time. Meanwhile, this guy moved onto the land. This Frank Enendi, also called Fragile, moved onto the land and started building. But you know, I have told them that I'm not the kind of person they will just push aside. Okay, I published on national newspaper that, you know, nobody should buy this property. This property is in dispute. Okay, but of course, because he keeps on building because he knows that he will just sell it to an innocent person, and the person will just buy, and then it will be the person's problem. He would have gone out of it, you know. But I've put enough notices at the property, enough. They keep cleaning it. Anytime I go and put notices there, they will clean it. Even the federal and state high court put notices there, they clean it, you know. So, but we're in court, you know, and we know we'll get justice because we also sued the KBAC because we thought that, oh, maybe he sold the piece of land to two different people. But they have also replied to the court summons and said, no, this is the only person we sold to. We have no clue about where the other document came from, you know. And in a sane society, you would have thought that that should end the process. But no, we are still there. This guy is still building. Okay, he's still building and using police, Nigerian police, to muzzle me away from the land. Nigerian police. Okay, we have put all the cases in court, the fundamental human rights and everything. We'll follow through it will take time, but I'm determined to follow through this process through because this is a country of laws, for goodness sake.
Wow.
You understand? There's no matter what you think you have in terms of power, you cannot be greater than God now. You cannot. You cannot. You know, and the truth was, my security men are OPC guards. You know, we employ OPC guards. You know, when this thing was happening, when the policemen were there, I averted danger because the guy had called their office and mobilized the other ones. And my younger brother was there. He told me, Oga, look, just call these people back. Because if there's a fracas between OPC and police and somebody dies, you know, the case will no longer be about land. It will now be about somebody who killed another person.
Dio, we have to let you go. Thank you, Dio Joshua, for that experience.
If it's necessary,
we will bring you back to come and you know, give us a kind of update. It's very difficult to be a law-abiding citizen in this country. Look at the level of oppression. They are building on his land. They are still working on that land. And the guy is
bring police to chase him away on his own land. It's terrible. You know, they were telling me that Idado is part of their
that community.
Yes, part of the community, and that's where Naramali has his house. They are reselling people's plots of land in that place because it's not as if there is land. They are reselling people's plots of land.
So we have to call on the governor of Lagos State.
I don't understand.
Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, governor of Lagos State.
You see, it's not as if we don't have laws. Just as Paul said earlier, it's the enforcement that the issue. There is no way that compromised security agents will enforce the law. They would rather work with crooked people because they are compromised.
How can somebody be in zone 2 and you are saying you want to go and bring people in Alagbon? Zone 2 is a zonal headquarters for Lagos and Ogun State. A very bigger than Lagos State police community. And you are saying you are going to Alagbon to go.
These are the things that these boys believe that because they have money, that they can do what they like. How can an individual just stand in the middle of the town and say, you, 2 years, I don't want to see you here. You threaten housewife, you threaten people. Because you are not money, you chose not to go to school when your mates were going to school. And you now live a life of criminality, extorting money from people, beating up people and taking their lands forcibly. I mean, in Lagos, cultism and this land grabbing are the most
that's especially on that line now.
Activities that
drugs, cultism,
yes,
land grabbing.
Somebody was saying that there are now more drug joints than churches and schools. It's true. You see communities now, drug boys, they've taken over and nobody's arresting them. We are going to feature some of those communities on this program in Lagos, where these drug lords, they've turned the communities to their own. Even residents are scared. We have to do something about it. It's a city, it's a state governed by laws. We can't leave Lagos to never do well, to simply be doing what they like. Selling people's land to like 3 different persons.
Not even the intervention of the Oba of Lagos could even solve this particular case.
Don't have
that area.
They have no respect for any institution. They have respect for the police, institution, even the judiciary, the court. They have no respect for the court. A case is subsists in court. You are still going there to build.
No. Paul Dada, I want to thank you for your contribution. Babajide Kolade Utstoju, thank you for always being there. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. Join us this Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for joining this Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Aiyedatiwa Ozuba.
Creative Market is here again. Yes, the biggest gathering of African and international creative industry professionals is back. First in Lagos, November 2023, and in Dubai, March 2024. Come join thousands of creative professionals as they gather with their counterparts for trainings, workshops, masterclasses, conferences, fashion shows, networking, and a mega music concert featuring some of Nigeria's biggest acts and many more from Thursday, November 2nd to Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. The Dubai event runs from March 5th to March 9th, 2024. Register to be a delegate and get the full event schedule on www.africacreativemarketglobal.com. Call the ACM team on 080-611-80294 to book an exhibition booth, and call 0703-623-0247 or 0809-367-7272 for sponsorship and advert bookings. Be there.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where and how to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill, the compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1-horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable traction belt, large LCD multifunctional display that displays speed, time, distance, calories, and has 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.
The SportX treadmill has really helped me get back in shape after childbirth. I love it because it's compact and can fit anywhere in the house. And when I'm done, I fold and put it away. Easy peasy.
This is the best piece of equipment for people like me who want to stay active without leaving the home. I simply unfold it and use it while I watch my favorite program on TV.
Joining the gym can cost an absolute fortune, and you could be paying up to 600,000 naira in annual gym fees. Get the SportX treadmill to save the cost and work out from the convenience of your home. You could pay 500,000 naira for a treadmill like this, but you can get the Sport X treadmill for not 400,000 naira, not even 300,000 naira. Order right now and get this for just